Hello, welcome back to a wonderful, exciting day where we get to work on our whole body and talk about ways of preserving ourselves at the beginning of the season. So today we're going to focus on doing some very simple and basic Pilates. We're going to start off like how we did maybe a year ago, or maybe I would say a term ago, where we get together, we talk about some routine things that we can do to help sustain really healthy practices, and then add a sprinkle of movement, and finally wrap it up by calming ourselves down. All right. So one of the things that I'm going to give you today, especially because we're going into the fall season, is great things to do to help regulate our body and our mind is to wake up with the sun. All right. So one of the best ways that you can do that is allowing yourself to get up between 5 and 7 a.m. because then you're not getting that groggy feeling. You ever feel like you sleep in and then you feel a little bit more tired than you did, when you're waking up really early? In Ayurveda, Ayurvedically speaking, there's timing that really is supportive of being out in the world and being up in the day. Sometimes it's just hard to get up, but once you're up and going, you really find yourself moving and able to move forward. So one of the things I would say is in the morning, if you can, waking up between 5 and 7 a.m. is a huge gift for the body. And then finally, one of the awesome things is if you're not working a job where you're on the opposite side in terms of timing, you can focus and really set yourself up to wind down around 7, which some people can laugh at, like 7, go to sleep at 7 o'clock, but start to let things wind down. If you're a student, sometimes you'll probably be working later in the evening, but ideally you just give yourself an hour before you go, between screens and bedtime. So that way you're not putting like a sun in front of your face until you fall asleep. All right. So on that note, we'll start with some really basic Pilates. I'm going to take you over to my mat and we'll get started. All right. So sometimes when people are using a mat for Pilates, it can be really tricky because when you're using things more traditionally speaking in Pilates, you use a cushion. You have something to support your lower back and kind of support your spine, right? So I have a regular yoga mat with me today. So I'm going to use that. And then I will give you some feedback on how you can really work with the whole, if you have a little bit less flesh to support rolling and things of that nature, okay? All right, here we go. Let's get this thing started. So lie on your back. We'll start at the top of the mat as long as you're good to go. Remember, before you start any new exercises, please check in with your primary care person. That would be your caretaker, your physician, right? So from this position, let's have you sit tall. If it's hard for you in the back, you can go right onto the spine, pull the right knee into the chest, and extend the left leg out. All right, take a nice deep inhale through the nose. Exhale out through the mouth. Again, inhale through the nose. Exhale, let the knee fall across the body and reach an arm out to the side as you look and gaze over to the right, right? Some people have a tendency this time of the year to really feel like a little bit more stiff or groggy in the head, neck, and shoulders as the seasons change. If you're one of those people, you can add some just simply steamed water. If you boil water in the morning, breathe a few breaths in. It's really super helpful. All right, pull that knee back into the chest. Same thing, opposite side. If you're really fancy, you can add some eucalyptus, tea tree oil, even what's nice is peppermint. And breathe. If you want to really be simple, you can just get fresh mint, put it in that boiling water and breathe that in. And come all the way back in. And hopefully it's not too noisy for you. Today there's a helicopter over here. But I hope it doesn't work with that or disrupt our sound. After you've done that, take a nice deep inhale, reach the arms all the way above you. Exhale, bring them down to the side of the waist. Inhale, reach them up. Exhale, bring them down to the side of the waist. One more time. Inhale, reach. Good. Zip the inner thighs together, knees together, toes together. Pull the navel in and up, and then you're going to curl the head and shoulders and climb the back of the knees as far as you can go. If that's your max. Squeeze the inner thighs, press the feet down, lower the body. You're going to go again, climb it up. You may have a tight back, so you might not be able to continue climbing. If you can get that mid back off the ground, you will. Exhale, heel the spine back down, reach the arms back up. One more time, exhale, climb it up, climb it up, climb it up. Get a little higher this time. If you can go even more, drop the head toward the knees if possible. And then lower the body down, just squeeze the inner thighs together, pull the navel in, squeeze, pull the navel in, squeeze, pull the navel in. And finally lower it all back down. And climb up a little. So if this is your max, stay right here, get to where you can. Squeeze the inner thighs, lower the back. If you're feeling it too much in the neck, you can just reach the arms. Squeeze the legs, press the feet, and lower down. One more time, climb it up. All right, if you're with me climbing, and then lower down. From this position, you're going to stay up here. Pump the arms up and down. Inhale, exhale. Inhale, exhale. One more time, breathe in. Exhale, lower everything down. We're going to do the same exercise. The only difference is you're going to switch the breathing, all right? So instead of inhaling as you reach down, exhaling as you lift, you're going to exhale and press the arms down, all right? Here we go again. Climb, climb, climb. Stay where you can. Squeeze. Breathe in. And exhale. Press. Each time you're going to try and press the arms down to the side of the waist. One more time. Feel both sides of the legs and the bottom of the feet press into the floor. Good, and then lower the whole body down. You should feel a sensation in the belly and in the legs, keeping everything active, all right? Same thing again. Let me move closer into the frame. And breathe in, exhale. Inhale, reach the arms up. Exhale, press them down. Climb up a little higher. Inhale, breathe the arms up. Exhale, press them down. Climb higher if you can. One more time, breathe. Press the feet into the floor. Exhale, lower everything down, reach the arms back, press the legs out, right? So that's your preparation to start the hundreds, yeah? Once you're prepping for the hundreds, we'll move into the roll-ups. If you're not able to roll your body all the way upright, that's okay too. The goal is for you to actually make a connection with the floor, resist the floor, use the floor as if you would if you were on a piece of equipment or apparatus here that we use actually in the Pilates studio, all right? All right, from here, you're going to reach the right leg all the way up to the sky. You're going to point and flex the foot. You're going to bend that knee into the chest. You'll let the toe touch the floor. Slowly reach the leg all the way out and then flex the heel, all right? And then bend the knee. Same thing again. Press the palms down. Find the abdomen. It's almost like you're resisting the floor, so you're pushing the hands into the floor. Let the knee come in. Stretch the leg up to the ceiling. Flex the heel. Point the foot. Nice and basic today. Bend the knee into the chest. Let the toe touch the ground. And then draw it all the way out and flex the heel, all right? Bend both knees. This time you're going to press the hands out, pull the navel in, both knees come into the chest. Stretch the legs up to the ceiling. Flex the heels. Point the feet, bend the knees, and both legs are going to go down. You should keep zippering the navel in and up. Keep pulling the navel up, pulling the navel up, pulling the navel up. Finally, flex the heels. And same thing again, push the hands down. Draw the knees into the body, pull the navel in. So when you draw the knees, make sure your belly is not protruding out. You're not pushing or stressing the abdomen. We don't want to catch a hernia of any kind. All right, and then you'll point and flex the feet. Bend the knees, squeeze them together, toes touch. Squeezing the navel in, feel the zippering up of the navel as you stretch the toes all the way out and flex the heels. One more time with both legs. Press the hands down, draw the knees in, squeeze the knees in and up. Stretch the legs to the ceiling, flex the heels, point the feet, bend the knees, toes touch, and slowly as you scoop the navel in, it should be that strong in the belly, and flex the heels out, all right? From this position, pull the right knee into the chest, stretch the right leg up to the sky, and you're going to do the single leg circle. If this is really hard on the hip flexor, or you can't straighten out the hamstring without a lot of tension in the knee, you can bend the left knee, all right? Otherwise, ankle the left leg as if you're standing on it, and we're going to do a single leg circle. So you're going to draw the leg out to the side, pulling the navel in. Both lower sides of the hip should stay put, all right? It's almost like you can feel your kidney, even though you can't, in the back of the floor here. So push the left side down. You're going to draw that leg toward the front, pushing the left heel into the floor. You're going to draw that leg across the supporting leg, which is the one that's extended down on the ground, anchoring you, and bring the leg back to the center. All right, draw it out to the right. Push into both palms. Let the leg go toward the front. reach it across to the left, and bring it back up to the ceiling. One more time, out to the right, down to the center. Feel the pelvic floor muscles squeeze, right? In yoga, they call them mula bandha. All across the leg, back to the center. One more time to the right, out to the side, down through the center, across the supporting leg, bring the leg up. We'll do the other direction. So across the leg, down the center, push into that leg, the left leg that's extended out to the right, back up to the ceiling. 3 more. And if you feel like you feel any tension in the back, you can always soften that knee. See how my left knee is bent now? I'm really pushing it into the floor, trying to make sure it doesn't move. Even though my right leg is doing big movement, the left leg is really the leg that's really, really working hard. One more time to this direction, left, around to the center, pulling the navel in, out to the right, bring it all the way up to the ceiling, and relax that leg. So you should feel something, unless you have been doing this for a long time, all right? Same thing, opposite leg. Reach the left leg up, draw the leg out to the side, pushing that supporting leg, long leg into the floor, down through the center. Bring it all the way up to the sky, and out to the side again. Pressing into that supporting leg, really anchoring the leg down through the center. Bring the leg up to the sky, and out to the side again. All the way down through the center. Let's make sure you go across. I forgot going across, and then bringing the leg up. One more time, and down to the side, out through the center. Push into that leg, across, and bring it up. We'll reverse it, all right? So go across the leg first, pushing into the supporting leg. This leg should be on fire. That's how hard you're using it. Down through the center, out to the left, all the way up. 3 more, around, through the front, scooping the navel in and up. This leg, somebody should be able to come across and stand on my belly. That's how much I'm using my belly. Once again, down through the front, out to the side, up through the center. And I'm going to do one more, because this is my leg that's a little weaker. Press down into the floor, bring the leg up, and let both legs extend, all right? The legs and the hips should feel utilized. The abdomen was working, all right? Reach the arms up, and roll the body all the way upright. Reach forward. Now, again, if you're not able to roll up, you can lie onto your side and then find your way back to the center, all right? Draw yourself closer to the heels, pull the knees into the chest, all right? And then you're gonna roll like a ball, right? So if you have a really sensitive spine, you're not gonna roll like a ball. You can just lay on your back and right now find out just by shifting to the right, shifting to the left, shift forward and back, right? Does it feel okay to do that on your floor? Do you feel like if you lifted your head up, it would be uncomfortable or kind of like abrasive? So in order for you to get that sensation where you're able to rock up and down, you're really gonna tighten up your glutes. I recommend starting at the top, right? So you might not go very far. You might go, I can't get back up from here, and that's okay. You just keep everything nice and tight like a ball. Squeeze the heels, squeeze the glutes, and it's a little spinal massage if you don't have a sensitive bones in those areas, all right? Now, moving right along. So we'll do another exercise. Remember, we flip over to the belly, all right? Work on your back. So before we go down completely on the belly, go onto all fours. Everybody's familiar with cat-cow. I'm having you come here first because it's a pretty safe place for most, right? Make sure your spine is neutral, meaning you're not dumping in your lower back, you're not overarching your spine. You're in a kind of neutral position where everything is active, all right? From here, reach your right leg directly behind you. Extend it long, pulling the navel in. Push down through the hands so that way you're not locking or sinking in the shoulders. Everything's pressing as if you were in a push-up. And then lower that leg. Same thing, opposite leg, reach it out. Keep reaching nice and long through the leg, almost like you have a tail. And then lower that leg down. So nice and simple. You're just utilizing the legs, using the hands, right? So much that later on it could graduate where you have one knee on, or one knee off, I should say, right? Otherwise, you're keeping it nice and simple. Reach it out, right? Simplicity is a beautiful thing because you can really get a lot out of things when you do it basic. You can really utilize and know everything's healthy before you start to graduate, right, into other things. From that position, I want you to lie all the way flat onto the floor. Bring the palms underneath the forehead. Squeeze the navel up so your legs are heavy like a mermaid tail. You'll squeeze the inner thighs together. Drop the head down. Reach the right leg off the ground, or the left, whichever leg you choose first, and bring it up. And bring it down. Pull the navel in. Trying to keep the pelvis as balanced as you can. So as you lift the leg off the floor, the other leg doesn't dump forward so you're not overusing your lower back. Same thing, opposite side. Reach it back. Seems really simple, but if you really press your elbows down to the floor, pull the abdomen in and up, and really make sure there's a healthy curve in your cervical spine, which is your neck, both legs are going to lift up. When the legs lift up, let them today, they're going to stay apart. So you're going to lift both legs off the ground, pull the navel in, let the legs reach out, squeeze them close, and lower them down. Again, reach both legs off the ground, let them reach out to the side, squeeze them together, and lower them down. Same thing again, and reach the legs long, separate the legs, squeeze them into a big fishtail, and lower down. Last one, pull the navel in as tight as you can, lift the legs off the ground, reach the legs out. If you want a little more, you can lift the head up, you can reach the arms out, you can lengthen and lengthen and lengthen, keeping the legs off the ground. If this is too much, lower your body. Keep the head up, pull the navel in. Don't dump the lower back. Don't dump into the lower back. It's almost like someone's pulling the crown of my head and pulling my legs away from each other. Legs are going to reach away from the crown of the head. It's almost like you're in the water and you're just floating along, reaching the arms out, reaching the legs long. So all the posterior muscles from the calves, the gastrocnemius, all the way through the upper thoracic spine are engaged. And rest. All right, from here, sit back into a nice child's pose. Knees are wide. Drop the head. Pull the navel in. Great. How did that go for you? I hope it went well. All right. From here, we're going to lie onto our side, right? So side line. We'll start here. Let your body lie all the way down. Knees are going to stay bent. Let's have you either lie as you prop up onto the right hand, or you can lie completely flat. All right, and then we're going to have you bring the opposite hand behind the head if it's available to you. Notice that my wrists are hyperextending, so you can kind of see this hand. I want you to think of pressing down, so there's a little bit of resistance and the shoulders are down. I want you to push down into the floor. You're going to lift the top leg up nice and simply, pulling the abdomen in, reach the leg out. So this is a nice preparation for when you begin to bring your body to like a side plank, or if you're balancing with your hand down on the floor. This is a great opportunity for you to just use your actual lower body and your laterals as well as the deltoids to make that resistance on the floor. So I'll show you what that looks like to advance it in a moment, right? So we're just lifting the leg up and down, extending the knee, bending the knee, and lowering it. We did about 5, right? Let's do 8. It's a nice number. It's one of my favorite numbers. Good. One more time, bend the knee, lift the leg up, stretch it out, right? So, for example, we can do the same exercise, right? Stay here if you will, or you can take a rest. Same exercise can be done kneeling, right? Bending, reaching, lowering, lifting, right? Same exercise can be done upright, right? Bending. So there's different degrees depending on your body's needs, all right? And now that you're here and you've been waiting so patiently for me the whole time, we're going to circle 5, 4. So we did 8 and 5. 3, 2, 1. Reverse it. 5. Making sure your torso is not moving with your leg. It's almost like you're in a slab of concrete in your upper body. 2 and 1. Bend both knees. Nice little awakening in the hips, and then we'll switch sides. Same thing, opposite side. Okay? So starting on the column, lying down. If it's too much on your neck, you can lay all the way down like this. This is another opportunity for you to be respectful of whatever limitations you may have in your body. But if you'd like to advance it, remember you're here, or you're here, right? Or you're all the way up here. Okay? Today we're keeping it simple because we're starting off, unless you've been here the whole time, this is a great place to be, all right? So palms are here, press down into the heels, you're lifting that leg up, you're extending the knee, you're bending the knee, you're lowering, just 8 times. Pull the abdomen in so there's not a lot of curvature and the ribs aren't sticking out, you're pulling the navel in and up. 3, bend the knee, lower it down. 4, reach, bend. 5, extend and bend. Good, we got 3 more to go. Find the belly. Another thing I like to do is I like to press this bottom leg into the floor so that way both legs are actively working while you're moving this top leg. Oftentimes the supported leg should be doing more than the active leg. All right, and then from this position, you're going to stay here. If you're in a different position, you'll start to circle the leg 5 times, right? Same thing, balancing through the front of the abdomen, making sure you're not sinking into the ribs and the neck and shoulders. Good. Circle. And we're going to reverse it 5 times, 4 times, 3 times, 2 times, and 1 time, right? Just enough to tell the hips, I acknowledge you. All right. From here, let's have you lie onto your back. Place your right ankle on top of the knee. Pull that knee into the chest. Do a little piriformic stretch. If this one doesn't work for you, you can sit down and just place your ankle on top of the knee in a nice chair where there's support. And if you need a little more, sometimes it's nice to just keep it simple, right? Keeping it simple keeps you safe. And then as we grow together this term, this fall, we can slowly advance through these videos, okay? So from that position, we did side. Now we're going to do something pretty simple. We'll go into crisscross. Both hands are going to go behind the head. You'll pull the right knee into the chest. Pull the knee all the way into the body as much as you can, and then extend the leg back out, right? Reach through the heels. The elbows are reaching out as you try to bring the back ribs off. Pull the knees back in and stretch the leg out, all right? So the knees coming into the body. You're trying not to pull on the back of the neck. Push into the foot that's on the floor still. 2 more. And then put the back of the hamstrings active. And 1. Good. I want you to lengthen that leg. And you're just going to twist to the back of your mat and twist to the other side of the mat. All right? So twist as this leg stays up. Push into the floor so the bottom leg's active. Both legs are active. 3 more. And twist. And 2 more. Nice and simple. Push into the supporting leg. 1 more time. Reach. And rest. All right. Opposite leg's going to come up. You're going to pull that knee into the body. And then extend it out. Right? Pull the knee in. And reach it up. I believe that's what I did, right? Squeezing the knee into the chest. Good. And 2 more. If I didn't, forgive me. Good. From here, twist it out. And switch. And switch. So remember, the bottom leg is pressing into the floor. And 3 more. And 2 more. Make sure you're not pulling on the neck. You're really lifting up from the back ribs. And relax. So this part of the body is really lifting you up, okay? There we go. All right, rest the legs. Nice and simple. Your body was utilized. It wasn't overused. It was simple. It was clean. And you connected in all parts, in all the way, right? So we did abdomen, nice introduction to the hundreds, nice introduction to the roll-ups. We didn't go through the full 5 series. We got on our hands and knees to do a little bit of cat-cow. If you find that it's difficult to lie on your belly or any sort of limitations, and that way you can always stand up and hold onto the wall and do all of the same exercises. If you have any questions, feel free to come into the chat and ask, and I'll kind of review or keep in touch. Otherwise, thank you so much again today for joining me here as we start to address not just things Pilates and yoga-wise, but whole body-wise, right? So we have Ayurveda, we have so many things to reach from. I'm really excited to be your guide this semester, or this year, this fall, in how to address things in a full spectrum. So we're not just sort of cherry-picking, like, I'm going to work out, but your food also matters, your lifestyle choices from the very beginning of the day to the end of the day, right? So join me here again. Remember, the hardest part is not actually doing the movement, it's actually showing up, right? So you don't have to do it alone. I'll be here with you next time. I look forward to our next visit. And until then, I'm Natalie Rand. I'll see you next week, Thursday at 1 p.m. Thank you. Bye-bye.